Here. There we go. There you go, boys. Here we go. All right, so there's been a lot of fear-mongering out there for the last couple of weeks. Maybe I'm a little guilty about it, but I've tried to... Callum, I don't know, maybe you guys can... If you guys were here throughout the last couple of weeks on the podcast and stuff like that, I've tried to curtail my fear-mongering and curtail the toxicity toward this CV patch. I don't know if I've done a good job at that or not, but I think I've succeeded at limiting some of the fear mongering that a lot of other people are putting content out there. So, and it could all be expressed by that very first day of the CV rework when I went in and played the actual CVs and was so frustrated and so pissed off that I was not able to perform. It had nothing to do with the game. It had stuff to do with me not being able to perform at an average level. So with that being said, we've taken the last couple of days and we've done nothing. If you guys were here last night, we did nothing but play the Ryujo. I know we're still mechanically unsound. We're still struggling to get those dive bombers down.
We have a new student.
Yo, 5 average months in a row tier. Thank you very much, man. Welcome to the pit over to World of Worship, Citadel City. Enjoy, stay for welcome, open to fun, home here. Remember, Casey, so best has been talking river and blanket a beautiful birdie pillow. Lay it down on a beautiful birdie pillow, and you too, my friend, could dream about flexing all over my face. That's right, that's what you're gonna do right now. Flex all over my face. There you go. Boom, in that clan. Also, it's Gypsy. Bang, bang. What up, Gyps? How you doing, man? All right, so in my interest, I've seen a lot of people, like I said, fearmonger. If you guys noticed that last night we played nothing but the Ryujo. This morning we did a little bit of other things, on the stream, just to have a good time and just relax and just play whatever we felt like playing. Sorry for the interrupt. No, you're good, dude. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. 5 average months, bro. I love you. You know what? Oh, damn. I'm not happy with the Rockets, though. Cheers, man. We have found in our struggles this. This is what we have found. The Hakiru is overpowered as shit. 8-kilometer torpedoes that you can drop all 3. There's really no punishment in these boats. You can go a little bit too close and lose your planes, but for the most part in the hack, you can just drop your torpedoes off, and that's just an exploit of the game that people have found and have used, and it'll change. It'll get different, guys. It's not going to stay that way. It's not going to stay that way. The second thing, the American dive bombers, they're not that great. Let's be fair, they're not that great. The torpedo bombers, they're not that great. The Americans make up for those 2 not that great ones in those tiny Tims. When you get those rockets out there, those rockets are pretty strong. They're pretty strong. Pretty low fire chance, but they're really good. They're really good. So there's the flavor of that. You got long torps from the hack. You got the tiny Tims from the Midway. Okay, this is stuff that we can deal with. This is stuff that we can understand. So how do they pull that back and boost up the other 2 so people will have a choice of what they want to actually play? Because as right now, the Hakiru, nobody's dropping rockets, nobody's dropping bombs. They're just throwing out wave after wave of torpedo bombers. So how do you curtail that? Limit the number of planes on board. Not overall, but you can have 20 planes on deck at a time when it comes to torpedo bombers. So you cut that down to where you can only get 1 flight out at a time. Maybe that'll curtail some of this, because they have controlled the game and really dominated the game over the past couple of days. It's five days in. It's still early to tell, and they still have yet to make any changes. So what you're seeing now will not be the finished product. But a lot of people that I've seen on Twitter, the Reddits, Discords, and multiple Discords that I'm involved with, are fear-mongering so bad that this is the end of the game. Makes me want to spit. Ding. We've also found that the British carrier, the Audacious, is pretty strong. It's not terrible. The torpedoes are 1 kilometer in range, so they're really short. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. I don't remember. Maybe they're 5 kilometers. I don't know. I don't remember. Those are the carpet bombers, and those carpet bombers are fucking dope. And I really like those carpet bombers because they don't go up and down. They come in like the rockets do, so it's pretty intuitive. It's pretty straightforward on how you're supposed to drop these things, and it should be pretty easy for people to pick up. I cannot wait for these things to actually go live because I would like to start out at the Hermes at the very beginning of the line and play through the entire thing because it's very enjoyable, those boats. They don't feel too strong. They don't feel underpowered. At any point in time, you can do things. And I think that they should put more focus on those bombers instead of having a third set of torpedoes, making them possibly overpowered. We saw at that Tier 8 Premium in the British CVs that it only has the dive bombers and rockets. And is it overpowered? No. Is it balanced? I think it's pretty goddamn balanced. At that Tier 8 Premium, Implacable or whatever the hell it's called. We'll look at it here in a minute. You said yesterday, happy if you come in and say hi. So howdy, greetings, and what's up, bro? How you doing? I say it's very reminiscent of the big changes in Arnie and World of Tanks, and maybe that's where it's coming from, because the changes in Artillery and World of Tanks 09 was the new mechanics with the fast reload changed a lot, and it was rough. The class that was hated made it even more annoying. All right, so the biggest issues that I can see, and I'm not just sitting here touting on the CV rework, because there's some issues, let's be fair. With any change that comes into this game, there's going to be issues. The biggest issues that I see right now are the amount of planes that they can just spit out. It's a little much, and it's a little overwhelming. They have too much time on target, and they can absolutely dominate the DDs. And the DDs, as much as I don't want to give them anything, they're in a really hard place right now. They cannot stay unspotted. Their basic objective is to use their detection to spot things, to torpedo, to cap, to play objectives. This is their stuff. Now you've taken that mechanic out of the game with the way that the CVs work. Now, it's all up to that CV to go focus on those guys, and I know somebody like myself or some hack player out there, all he's going to do is drop on the big ball and try to get as much damage as he possibly can, leaving it open for a little bit more destroyers. To put the O button, you either hit the O key, which is right there, the O key next to the I, in between the I and the P, or you hit this little tilde up here, and then you can choose which one you want. So, on the back end of this, you gotta look at, is this CV rework good for the game? Yes. Is it the end of the world? No. Is the game gonna die because the CV rework is out there? No. The game's gonna continue on because people like myself, people like the Callum, people like you beautiful people out there are gonna continue to play the game. Regardless. And it's the people like you guys out there that are gonna continue to make this game fun and valuable to you guys, to your own, valuable in your own right. Why? Because you will adapt and you will learn how to play with the CV. You will adapt and learn how to play against the CV. Their tactics are going to come out from the higher. It's going to be a trickle down. You'll see some of the, the ZR guys start doing something together, and it'll disseminate throughout the deal, and then everything will go back to the way it used to be. Okay. Well. I'd say to that is that it's already like the way it used to be. People still deathball. People still lemming train, although the lemming train is not necessarily a deathball. But a deathball is not a lemming train. How many times have you guys seen players just run straight to one side of the board, leaving the other side of the board entirely open on a giving free caps to the enemies. You saw it all the time. I know I did. I saw them all the time. So nothing really has changed in the way that people are playing right now. People were bad before the CV rework. The people are still going to be stupid after the CV rework. So is it irresponsible for people to start throwing up the signs? Guys, it's the end of the world. Standing out there on their soapbox saying, "Yeah, you must repent. You must repent and repeal. Repent and repeal the CV change because it's terrible. We would just rather have the crap that we had before." It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible for streamers and players. I'm not going to call out any streamers or players, but they know who they are. Calling out tried to get a reversion to the old CV mechanics. The old CV mechanics, if you realize, was stupid. It was dumb. This is a lot better than what we used to have it CV-wise. People are actually playing CV, and I know it's only 5 days, so the new hotness will wear off and people will start filtering out. But right now, just understand, there's going to be CVs pretty much every game. We did have 3 games in a row last night without a CV, but population was like 4,000 or 5,000, so whatever. Do you think the rework seems to be pandering to those players that rely on different playstyles? I'm not a doomsayer, but I'm just hesitant we'll get used to it. Yeah, we will. We'll definitely get used to it. It seems like accommodating less skilled player. Oh, Tier, this is something that I saw from several people. Nobody wants to play CVs because, number one, there's no skill gap, or the skill gap is like this, okay? So one good CV could literally shut down and take away any opportunity for this other guy to even have any modicum of enjoyment strafing the planes. The guy is a 40% win rate guy learning the CV class versus somebody who is a 60% win rate. That's a pretty big difference. He's going to know how to strafe. He's going to know how to position his fighters to maximum damage. He's going to know how to drop. And he just outclasses the other guy and takes control of the game. So what did they do? They took away the ability to, number one, they took away the ability to manual drop on tier 4 and 5 to try to make it a little bit easier and a little bit more accessible for the new players so they don't get shit on at the lower tiers. Well, in my eyes, that was a mistake, because now that skill level, that skill gap, that learning curve doesn't start until tier 6 now. So you've already gone two tiers, 20 games maybe between those tier 4 and tier 5. And they put it at tier 6. Now, tier 6 has got some really good planes. Ryujo, Independence, some good boats. And when you do that, now those people that would like the SEAL Club, they will go down to 6. And you're just moving the SEAL Club from 4 to 6. So these people coming in from 5 to 6 still didn't even know that you could manual drop. I had a guy in a freaking midway the other day before the CV rework, guys, before the CV rework, didn't even know that you could manually strafe. Didn't know about manual drops. And he was like, man, I was like, yo, why aren't you strafing these planes? He's like, well, what's that? And I'm like, dude, how did you get to tier 10 and not know how to strafe? So you're saying this makes it more balanced so skilled CVs can't ruin the team? No. I'm not saying that at all, Tier. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm getting at is that the CVs that we have now and the mechanics of these CVs and the way that they impact the game is a lot better than they used to be. Yes, you will be annoying as shit. Yes, they will be up in your face the entire time right now, but that will change. I have a feeling that will change. Too much action time. But do you guys remember getting one drop by midways in your tier 8 cruisers? Do you guys remember taking 70,000 damage from one drop on a hack? Do you guys remember that? That was awful. That was terrible. So this is a little bit better. Yo, what up, Buckshot Betty? I love you, girl. Check this out. I got something for you. Bam, right there. Follow this one. She's amazing. Boom. Guys, go check out Buckshot Betty. She's fucking fantastic. All right, so what did they do? So they took out the skill gap between the 60% win rate players and the 40% win rate players. Now that matters nothing. How good you are in a CV does not matter and does not impact that other CV at all. Dumbing the game down a little bit and holding the players' hands. Now, these also are the same players that were the biggest proponents of this change. I'll be all over that change if it's easier for me to play, so I'm not getting pooped on. Now, these same guys that will be all over the CV rework, and hopefully people understand who I am. People who are all over that CV rework have played it, didn't understand it, thrown the bombers away, and said, I'm never going to use those things because they're useless. And they're not useless. People just refuse to learn how to play the game. They refuse to go through what I did, and I'm still not good at it, but I could pretty much get some hits. They did not go through the learning process of being terrible and then beating your head up against that wall and trying something different. And hey, it didn't work this time. Let's drop a little bit later. And we dropped too soon. Okay, let's drop a little bit later. Okay, we dropped too late. Now let's drop a little bit sooner. Let's try this. Let's try going from the side. Let's try going from the front. Let's try getting them from the back. Let's try getting from the other side. Let's try just flying around. Forget this dude. Let's go drop on that guy instead. Did you try that? No. People didn't try that. And they're automatically, boom, knee-jerk reaction. They were like, ooh, look at this, I'm not good at it, so fuck it, it must be terrible. And for those people, the School of Average is probably not for you. I'm telling you right now. For those people that just want to try and they don't really give it a good honest shot, they don't try different things, they're not good at it originally, and then they just quit. That's not for the School of Average. Those guys will never be average players. Those guys will never want to be average players, and I don't want those players. I don't want to help those players. I don't want to try to help those players. The players that we want to help here at the Venoms School of Average are the people that understand that it's okay to be terrible. It's okay to fail. As long as you learn something from every game, or maybe you ask somebody, hey man, look at this replay. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? You're asking the right questions. People are willing to help you. I'm willing to help you. Callum's willing to help you. Motherfucking Nightmare's out there. Wayno out there. Daddy Tuboku. We're all willing to help as long as you're willing to put forth the effort to learn how to play the goddamn game. So for those people, come on in, because we want to help you. I want to help you. I want to get helped because I'm struggling on these damn dive bombers. I'm having such a hard time trying to drop these things, but you know what? I'm not going to give up, and I'm getting comfortable in them, and I'm getting even more comfortable in them. And you know what? I'm going to be the most average player on the server in CVs. That's right. I'm not going to be the best, but I'm definitely not going to be some guy that gives up on it. It's irresponsible. So there you go. Yeah, what up, Cardona? How you doing? So, in the end, it's day 5. This might take another week of this before they're actually able to implement some kind of changes. It's day 5. The pool of games that they have to pull from yet is still relatively limited to 5 days of actual gameplay. Now, they also have on the EU server, the US server, and the NA server, the Russian server, the C server. We have all these servers that we can pull from, but it's still day 5, and that's limited, bro. That's limited. This game went 3 years on that other CV rework before they actually decided to make this change, or at least 2.5 years, and then it took them a good 18, 19 months before they actually had something that was workable. It's gonna take time. So is it the end of the world? Nope. Is it the end of the world? Nope. And you people preaching the end of the world, thinking that this game is gonna die? Shut the hell up, man. Nobody cares. You're fear-mongering and you're trying to get views or whatever. The game is fine. The game will always be fine. And until they shut these servers down, people are still going to play it, regardless if you like it or not. Boom. So there you go. There's my 2 cents. And we'll talk more about this on the 6th with my man Kami Samurai is going to come onto the podcast with us as we discuss 7 days